yes. Ashe. So at this 1:11 hour, at this moment, we open up in prayer, giving thanks for this moment of stillness where we can come together as like minds to raise our divinity towards, raise our consciousness towards divinity, remembering who we are, what we are as divine beings. We pray that the meditation today, as well as the motivational word, will be just exactly what every person who is attending live need and every person who is watching as a replay need. And we already give thanks because we know it already is so. Ashe, 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 oh, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Give thanks, y'all. I don't know. I woke up just feeling great, this AM. I really did. Woke up feeling just amazing. I mean, it's no exception to other days, because, once you get to a place in life where you accept your divinity, every day, you feel like it's just an opportunity for you to be able to see God. I literally some days, most days, wake up and go, all right, another day to experience God. What's up? I'm ready. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. So I give thanks. I pray that you all are experiencing the same experience where no matter what is happening in life, no matter how much it may not look like we want it to look, that we still feel grateful, that we still feel able, that we still feel like we have the capacity of a divine being, meaning we don't feel stuck. We don't feel like there is no other way out. We always feel like there's potential. There is infinite potential and the opportunity for us to expand and grow in whatever way we need to do so. And if you don't feel that way, I pray that as we gather together today, here in this session, I pray that you experience a shift of the mind, a renewal of mind, that's like a twinkling of the eye, just quick and immediate, where your heart can be lifted and your heart can become light, and you can truly be able to experience what we all have a birthright to experience, and that is inner peace. Inner peace. When you have inner peace, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of yourself. You can stand in your inner peace and stand in the position of an observer, not an absorber. I'm so grateful. I just said this morning, just in my mind, in my meditation time this morning, I said, I'm so grateful to be standing at from a place of observing versus absorbing these days. I stand in a place of observing versus absorbing. There was a time where I was an absorber of life. Anybody bear witness? I was an absorber of life, absorbing everything, carrying what an elder of mine called tombstones, just carrying all of these experiences and all of the emotions that came with those experiences. And oftentimes our mind tend to carry the quote unquote negative experiences. Our mind tends to carry that. And we become these people, these entities that's carrying all of those memories that hold toxic emotions and feelings. And then we begin to, we don't, sometimes subconsciously, sometimes consciously, we begin to develop structures in life that are rooted in those toxic feelings and emotions and perceptions of experiences. And so we walk around guarded, we walk around on guard, in survival mode, in protection mode, the opposite end of flow and ease and peace. And we don't know it. And then because we have a good reason to, because we can say, well, I got a reason. I got a reason to, we feel like it is how we're supposed to be. Or we feel like that's reality. This is my reality. I can't speak for your reality, but my reality is. Do we hear it? Am I the only one that hear it? Am I the only one that have been there? That I can tell you why I'm like this, And it's not to indict anyone, but it's so real that a lot of us experience so much trouble on and on and on and on and on in life because that we're not realizing the fact that we are not standing from a place of observing life with a set of truths and principles in our hearts and in our minds and our souls that make righteous judgment, that make divine judgment, which is rooted in the reality that nothing is really bad. All is good, all is God. All things work together for the good. If we have that at the base of our hearts, at the center of our minds, as we observe life, we judge it from a righteous place. Righteous meaning with the base of that understanding in our heart. All things work together for the good. And so I'm going to resist judging this from my ego and placing labels and perceptions on these things, getting in the way of me actually being able to see what this or experience what I'm at, what is purposed for me to experience in this for the purpose of my own journey. I'm talking about or to someone right now because I planned on just jumping into meditation. I did. I said, I'm just getting to meditation. Then I'm going to say a word. But this is real. That was put in my spirit this morning, that notion of being so grateful that I am able to just observe, not absorb. And just to think of how we can become so absorbed by life. Our ego loves it. It thrives off of it. It thrives off of it. So we attract people who are absorbers. We attract positions, missions that is absorbing life. Fighting for my mission is to fight for this and fight for that. We're not here to fight anything. We're not here to fight anything. And again, that's no indictment, but we have been conditioned to believe that what's most important is our survival, not our alignment. When we focus more on our alignment, we know that there is no fight. We're not here to fight. We're here to align, listen, and then walk in righteousness. Righteousness being actions that are rooted in alignment. That's what righteousness is. You want to know, how do you be righteous? How can I make sure that I'm being righteous? I want to be righteous. I want to be righteous. Make sure that all of your actions are rooted in alignment. It's rooted in divine guidance. It's rooted in what spirit has guided you to do. So that means you have to spend time with spirit. That means you have to step back and observe, watch and pray, as the Bible would say. That means you got to take the position of the watcher, the watchman, that's what they call it. The watchman. Poised, still, lighthearted, calm, with a true knowing in your heart that all is working together for the good of God. Shame. May we all take the position as observers, not absorbers. Observers, not absorbers of this life. Shame. All right. As I was led to do, let us start with meditation. Then I wanted to read something from a book that I have, and I think it will give us a word for this week. Yeah, I think it will give us a word for this week. Okay. All right, so find yourself in a comfortable position. Per usual, you don't have to see me, but you do need to hear me. So I'm going to turn my video off. And if you could just find yourself in a place where you feel 100% comfortable, and let us make the intention for this meditation to allow us to reach a space of lightheartedness, of bliss, of inner peace, of ease, the space and the state that's necessary for God to be able to speak to us, for us to be able to hear the voice of the Almighty within our spirit. All right. And so as you get comfortable, I shall give thanks, Amisha. As you get comfortable, as you get comfortable, just engage your breath and start to just pay attention to the body. Noticing if you're carrying any tension. The tension could be anywhere, maybe in your forehead, maybe in your shoulders, two places where they tend to be, maybe in your jaw. So do your best to fully relax. Just relax. It's not really anything to think about right now. Breathe deep into the heart, opening the heart, the center of your consciousness. Our heart. The way we feel within our heart fuels our thoughts, fuels our ideas, our perceptions. So the more we open our hearts, the more we lighten our hearts, the more we feel peace at heart level, the more our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, our judgments will be aligned with our divinity. Will be aligned with the truth of the Almighty. They will be aligned with the reality of God, not the reality of man. So do not take lightly of your deep cleansing breath, deep into the heart. And as you breathe in deeply, inhaling through the nose, deep, deep, deep into the heart, opening the heart, opening the chest. And exhale, relax the body. Allow your energy to flow. Grace your veins, your organs, your nerves with ease. We are co-creators in the process of our wellness. As co-creators, let us attempt, strive, commit to giving our body, our minds, our temple ease, aligning with the flow of the breath, aligning with the beat of a calm, peaceful heart. So slowing the breath all the way down. Maybe engage in a breath in a pattern of inhaling for 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Exhaling for 4 or 5 seconds. Bringing that peaceful heart and mind into correspondence. Or maybe just taking deep, deep as you can, breaths into the nose. And slowing that exhale all the way down to a crawl. And exhaling slowly and completely. Notice how as you engage the breath in this moment, and you're consciously in the body, notice how every part of you is relaxed. Feel your shoulders, how relaxed they are. Feel how relaxed your hands are, your wrists. Notice how as you exhale, your chest relaxes. Notice how your hips and joints release and relax. Feel the relaxation all the way down, even to your feet. Or maybe you can feel the energy flowing through your toes. The same energy you can feel in your fingertips and in your hands. Both parts of the body, the hands and feet, antennas and extensions to vital life force energy, able to receive and to give energy. How amazing. Continue to breathe and relax and just reflect on how amazing the body is. The fact that at the bottom of our feet are so many points of energy that when we press it, it connects with an organ. If you merely press with your thumb the middle of your feet, your liver, your kidney can release. How amazing is that? How amazing that we can walk on the ground, on the earth and the grass, and it brings relief to our bodies. Connecting with the energy of the earth. How amazing that that earth energy can come up through the body into the portals of energy called chakras and calm us and soothe us and even reassure us. How amazing. These are all reflections of our Creator, of this thing we call God. How amazing that we can sit by the ocean side or the river, close our eyes, and just listen to the flow. And it could still our hearts. It could calm our minds, just from the vibration of the sound going into our ears, vibrating through our body, helping us to lighten the heart. If only we reflect and just think about some of the little things, we can see how big God is, how omniscient, how omnipotent, how omnipresent God is. As you continue to breathe and relax, in this moment, release the mundane of this physical world. Release all our perceived responsibilities, our perceived desires, our perceived needs, and just be. Just be in the moment. Just be in this moment of remembrance of what's really at play here. In this world that we see every day, if we lower ourselves and look around, we will see God in such amazing ways. In the soil, in the seeds, the insects, the animals, the trees, the cycles of the moon and the seasons, and the cycles of the rain and the sun. We will see that seeds we've planted 5, 10 years ago are germinating and flourishing now. We will see the synchronicity of events working on our behalf, bringing all that is ours to us. All of this is God. All of this is grace. This life is full of grace. This grace provides us peace, rest when we need it, rescuing when we need it, Will we acknowledge this grace? Give thanks for it. Accept it, align with it. There is no need to trouble our hearts or allow our minds to be troubled. May we raise our ego up to God level. May instead of we attaching to the struggle, may our ego attach solely to grace. And just as much as our ego wants us to argue for our limitation, may our raised up divine ego proclaim God. This is truth. God is truth. God is what is, always. May we stay present in his presence. As you continue to breathe, appreciate how relaxed you are. Appreciate how light you feel. Really feel the flow that's happening in this moment. The ease, the peace. And accept this as your natural state of being. This is your natural state of being. Strive to stay in this state. Not just for brief moments of prayer and meditation, but as your state of being. Because this is your being, the natural state of your being. We give thanks. Ashe. As we close out the meditation and come back to the present moment, maybe take a deep breath in through your nose. One last good, clean, deep breath in through your nose and allow your breath to be released through the mouth. And back to the presence, maybe by wiggling your fingers and toes, giving yourself a stretch. And when you're good and ready, you may come back into position to listen. And we'll conclude with the word of motivation for this week before we close. Ashe. Ashe. All right. All right. Welcome back. That was good. That was good. Ashe. So I feel like we already had a word for the day. Yeah. May we observe, not absorb. May we observe, not absorb. May we just observe, and let us observe from a place of knowing that everything is working together for the good. If we truly know that, then it leaves no room for stress, for worry, for anxiety. As we observe, we not only observe situations and things, but we observe how we are reacting and responding. And our striving is not to manipulate what's happening or to fix what's happening, but to always make sure we're staying balanced, poised, so that God can use us in the way that's need to be used for our own purpose in that situation. I really want to be clear about that word. I want to use something that could touch the heart. There's nothing like a child to a mama that really touched the heart. And sometimes as mamas or babas, aunties, uncles, spouses, loved ones, we have our own expectations of what's good for that person. And when we see things happening in their lives, or we are in situations with them in their lives, we may feel fear, anxiety, worry. It is in those moments that our striving should be to step back, observe, watch, be still, let the prayer and meditation and affirmation be what you go to versus the feelings of worry and anxiety, fear. And know that what you're experiencing is not just for you, not just for them, but it's happening for you too. In life, when we're experiencing things with people, which don't we all? The experience is for both parties. And there's a divine purpose for that happening in your life and your child's life or your spouse's life. So if you stand in a space of observing it, watching and praying, staying on your assignment, then you decrease the chance of disrespecting their journey and disrespecting yours. Everyone's journeys are sacred and meant for them and you. It's not for you to see why that's meant to be on their journey. It's for you to be still so God can talk to you, speak to you, reveal to you why you are experiencing this. But here's the beautiful thing. This is the beautiful thing about grace. If you do stand as the watchman and you're seeing what's happening, empty of thought and feelings and emotions, as much as you can, proclaiming all is working together for the good. All is in alignment for everyone's destiny. All is God. If you're affirming that constantly through the situation, not only will you be shown the purpose, but you could be given a word that can help show them the purpose. You could not only be given a word, not just to speak, but to live. There could be a word that's placed in your heart that will guide your actions in a situation where you don't have to say a word. They will see the word through you and your actions. Woo. Sometimes we feel like it's up to us to say something. It's up to us to do something. It's up to us to protect. It's up to us to, now I'm not, y'all gotta know. Your sister is not saying we're not here to protect our children. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let us always, first things first. First things first. First, seek ye first the kingdom of the Almighty. The kingdom of the Almighty is divine mind, divine guidance. And in situations that could throw us off and that could spin us into a world of anxiety or fear or worry or whatever it may be, oftentimes we move away from that divine guidance. We move away from being able to hear it because we are absorbed. That ego burning us. We can't sit back. I can't sit back. Now, sitting back don't mean God won't push you forward. But what I tell you is, if the Most High guides you to make an action, that difficulty that you experience, that difficulty that you are experiencing, you will experience ease through that divinely guided action. It won't be something that feels like the chaos is doubling. The stress is becoming greater, which oftentimes that's what we experience when we're moving off of ego. And ego manifests as fear, doubt, shame, resentment, worry, guilt. So the easing of the heart comes as we affirm and proclaim, all is God. Everything is working out for the good. All is in alignment. I seek divine guidance. I seek divine guidance so I can walk righteously. So my actions can be rooted in alignment. And you observe and you stand at that as your assignment without becoming absorbed by life. And you will always manifest as the vessel of the Almighty in every situation that you deal with in life. Always. It's an amazing, amazing assignment. And I do believe that many, many have accepted that assignment. May we stay courageous. May our heart continue to be light. May we allow it to be joyous in our hearts for us to be able to stand and experience God. That's the word of the day. Let's close. The word is to stand as an observer. But as this observer now, you got an assignment now. You ain't just sitting there. And I think we've made the point of what our assignment is. Have we? Ashe. All right. I just pulled a word real quick from our book of inspiration that is become our book of inspiration, White Fire, by the spiritual teacher, Baba Muji. And here is the word. It says, the more you feel you are disappearing, the more, in fact, you are discovering your real nature and self, which is limitless. A tiny ego identity is being exchanged for the immeasurable. Is this not the best deal going? Look at that alignment. Woo, my chest just got real happy. The more you feel you are disappearing, the more, in fact, you are discovering your real nature and self, which is limitless. A tiny ego identity is being exchanged for the immeasurable. Is this not the best deal going? When you function as an observer, you ain't in that thing no more. It's not you no more. I'm just observing this. I'm just a vessel. I'm just here. I'm just here. I'm just here to be used. Muji say, the more you feel you are disappearing, the more in fact you are discovering your real nature and self, which is limitless. A tiny ego identity is being exchanged for the immeasurable. Is this not the best deal going? Ashe, ashe. Let us work on it, y'all. We got to work on that detachment. We got to work on, allowing ourselves not to be controlled by our ego, not to be controlled by those feelings of wanting to do and be and relax into it. Relax. Doesn't matter. And the feeling of overcoming something that seems so great is amazing. Everyone deserves that feeling of overcoming. Give up. Give up. Give it all up. Just give up. Stand as the observer. Because there's something you can depend upon that's sustainable. It is immeasurable, as Muji just said. It truly is. And it manifests all around you if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. To give you assurance, to show you its nature. It's showing you its nature. It's nothing like nature. It's funny they call it nature. It's nothing like nature to show you God's nature. It's the nature of the Almighty. It's the very nature of this thing we call God. It's the very nature of life force energy for everything to always flow in alignment with goodness. Goodness. It is our human nature that want to hold on to time, and we want to time things. It's not happening fast enough. It's not happening when I want it. We want to hold on. Our human nature want to hold on to our perceptions, what we think, what we hear, our senses. So we have to detach from that sense consciousness and replace it with divine consciousness. And that's something bold. You hear me? That's a bold existence. That is a bold existence. People will doubt you. Some people will laugh at you. I've had people laugh in my face when I've shared my visions. Laugh. They couldn't help themselves. They weren't trying to be nasty. It made their being chuckle. And it's making me chuckle now because I remember that, and it's already been manifest 2 and 3 times over, But it's a bold existence. People will try to reel you in to the chaos and drama. People will try to make you feel guilty and feel like you're being selfish for not engaging in reality. People will make you feel like you're not being realistic. You're being a positive Annie with your head stuck in the sand. And then you'll have some people, like the groups you find yourself aligned with, like the people on this call right now, who absolutely know what you're standing on is truth, who will be there. And you have to be prayerful to be able to attract those people, because support is excellent. But there are people. Well, many of us have experienced and are experiencing the people who I just spoke about. So you have to commit to your own protection of your own energy. And sometimes that means you need to be quiet. Sometimes that means you need to stop sharing all your visions. Sometimes that means the answers that you think you can get from all these people you keep consulting, you need to take it into prayer. You need to take it into your devotion time. We hear all the time, move in silence, but you hear it from the egoic standpoint. Move in silence because silence is where the voice of the Almighty resides. So move in God. How about that? Move in alignment with divine guidance. And you're going to get that through stillness. And that stillness can be in the midst of noise, but that stillness and silence is a state of being that we can stand in the middle of an argument, in the middle of chaos, in the middle of a situation. You can stand poised in stillness and quiet so that God can speak to you and what to do. And sometimes that's to don't do nothing. Be quiet. And sometimes that's to let them speak. And after they speak, I'll give you a word. And you be obedient to say that word and that's it. But you can't do it if you absorbed. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. To be an observer is a beautiful position because you are one standing in a sacred place of knowing. And you are standing in a place of one who is honoring everything that's happening. When you honor, you make your situation sacred. When you are poised, all the unfoldings in your life become sacred ground for God to work and reveal itself. I know you all know this to be true. I know you feel it in your heart for it to be true. Stay close to your heart. Stay close to that feeling you feel in this moment as I say that. Stay close to that because ego can be subtle and ego can be tricky. It can be subtle and it can be tricky. And by the time you blink your eye, you could fall into it. And every height you climb in this elevation journey, every height you climb is going to make those situations seem rough and rougher and rougher. You're going to feel terrible when it happens. And I know you all can bear witness to that. You say, oh, God, how did I let that trigger get away from me like that? Man, why did I respond like that? Man, why did I do that? You'll feel it. It feel like it burn you up. That's because you're getting higher. You're being called higher. That animal behavior, that lower behavior, it no longer suits you anymore. It no longer suits you anymore. So don't let the fire of the ego in moments allow you to slip off your ground. If you don't maintain that fire and ego in the moment and govern it and overcome it, then you're going to feel that fire afterwards. Watch it. You're going to feel it and you ain't going to like it. Because you're going to know, you hear me? That you're going to have to go through it again, don't we? We know that it's going to have to come about again. Giving us multiple times, second chance, third chance, fourth time, fifth chance to overcome. But at the end of the day, we got to overcome it. Whatever that trigger is, whatever that thing is, it is in our overcoming where we get stronger in that area. And just know when you feel pain, it's the healing of weakness. It's in the womb, as Rumi say, it's through the womb where the light can come in. When we get wounded, that's when we get wisdom. And so don't run from it. And don't let ego fight it. Allow God to stand up in it so you can overcome it. Do we hear? Can we hear it today? Do we hear the word? It's a word for all of us. Gone are the days where we human. Well, we just human. We're not just human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Those who came up with that term feel like they are merely human. We have always known we are divine beings. I said what I said. Don't go with these terms that have been created by those who don't understand that they are divine, who call divinity pseudoscience, who call divine beings mystics. It's insulting. They call these people that they bring in from the East to speak, and they pay them thousands, if not millions of dollars. And guess who they stand up there and call them? Mystics. They're divine beings. We are as well. They've realized it. They're not special above you. They're not anyone above us. They are individuals who have experienced and who understand the nature of divinity in many ways. This is why they're masters in medicine, masters in herbs, masters in the body, masters in all of these different type of things. Because when you understand your divinity, you begin to understand everything about life. Ashe. Let us stand in our divinity. All right, y'all. I'm done. I'm through. That is all. Ashe. Ashe. Give thanks. Let me close out in prayer before we go. We give thanks. That word from Muji and Sister Khadijah, if you're still on here, she was asking. The title of that book is White Fire. I promise you, I feel like he's my uncle. What's up, Aunt? White Fire by our master teacher, Muji. Khadijah, if you're still on there. And that was a beautiful word. It said, the more you feel like you disappear, you're actually meeting the real you. This is the real nature of life. You're putting away that tiny, said it's definitely my grandpa, Ashe, putting away that tiny ego and being able to unfold into the immeasurable. Woo! I don't know about y'all, but I want to unfold into the immeasurable. My vision is immeasurable, baby. My divinity is immeasurable, honey. That's what it is. That's what it is. What was the name of that opening hymn? That was called the Faith Hymn by Beautiful Chorus. The Faith Hymn by Beautiful Chorus. I use it a lot in my breath work in the mornings. All right, we give thanks for this moment. Oh, how good it was. Oh, how good it was. We give thanks for that feast. We are full. We are full. Give thanks for the motivational word for us to carry throughout this week and carry it in our hearts as we move forward on our journey. We give thanks. We give thanks for our divinity. What a privilege it is to be a divine being. What a privilege it is to be a spiritual being, a vibrational being, an energetic being. What a privilege it is. We speak that we will stand as observers, watchmen, with our only role to pray. Pray not begging, but proclaiming. Watching over our lives and proclaiming God through all of our situations, through everything we find our hands to do, through all situations we find ourselves in. We stand as watchmen, proclaiming God, affirming God, allowing the word to well up in our heart and allowing it to guide our actions. We give thanks for the righteous life, the life that is driven off of alignment. We give thanks for that. And we speak that we will stand in that position, poised in our protection, poised in our guidance. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. Oh, amen. Amen, 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 amen. Happy Sunday, y'all. Thank y'all for the time together. It's always a pleasure, y'all know. It's the love of my life. So I give thanks. Thank you. I give thanks. I give thanks. Thank you all for your prayers. Keep me in your prayers. For those, shout out to all of the members online. I see some of you. I haven't seen you in a second. Give thanks. For those who are interested in OU Ministries and getting to know what we have to offer, please do visit the website ouministries.com. We have some beautiful things happening with the ministry. I'm just so excited to see the progress and hear the testimonies that's happening. OU Ministries manifest as study groups. We currently have 4 study groups that are available. You can find more information on ouministries.com, along with this Sunday meditation that's open to the public. Please do share with, let people know they can tune in to a live meditation and motivational word for the week. Included alongside this, we also have our new moon and full moon meditations that is available to the public. Everything else is offered through membership only. Those study groups, our day retreats, our spring equinox retreat is coming up. It's only available to members. They also receive discounted services, products. We have member meetups. We have a chat room that we vibe on throughout the week that is very active, very powerful. We have space. And so listen, I know that many people tune into these meditations, and many people who are aligned with OU Ministries, you come from a background, a Christian background, or a Islamic background, or possibly a Rastafarian background, and you are accustomed to having a family, a church family, a family that maybe you experience at the masjid or in the Nabingi circle, or whatever it may be, that it may not be that anymore. You may not indulge in those things anymore for whatever reason it may be. It may have been because of the pandemic, or it may just be that just wasn't serving you like that. But I can say that many times I hear from members that this gives that same energy, if not greater, that greater energy of family, that greater energy of alignment, that greater energy of support. And we need it. We need it. Yes, we are spiritual divine being. We are very much so having a human experience. And so many times in this human experience, support is needed. And that's what OU Ministries is here for. Through the study groups, through the opportunities to gather like this, through the meditation, through the ability, if you're in Atlanta, to come out to OU Ministries at the location and just hang out with family when it gets warm. Most people come with their mats and their chairs, and they plan on staying the day. That's just how it happens. And so that's what OU Ministries is all about. So I invite you to learn more about OU Ministries. And you can do that at OUN. I'm saying OYUN ministries.com. Okay, ouministries.com. Paige, I didn't want to blatantly say it, but we do got many folks that's calling it their church. At this point, it's church for them. Hallelujah, this is their church. And I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that, because I grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the church. She's talking about, because where's my tambourine? Girl, we gonna all have tambourines. We gonna all have them. And the church hats. I'm ready. Springtime coming too. Y'all don't know what I got. I got it in store. I got a tambourine. I got the church hat. I'm not playing no games. And I ain't playing games with Sheena either, because Sheena thinks she gonna show me out. But I got a closet full of hats. My mama was she was not playing with her hat every Sunday. Boo. So anyway, but I didn't blatantly say it, but this is OU Ministries. It's an online and sometimes in-person space that serves as that sacred space to commune with the Almighty, to give thanks, to praise, to worship, true worship. And our works and our walk is our worship as we move forward. And so just keep that in mind, and definitely check out OU Ministries if interested. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.